Do not go anywhere. We're about to show you a Haaland and Salah team with very few compromises, and there's loads of differentials in Dean's second draft. Dean, I'm delighted to see this one because you've committed to Haaland and Salah, and most teams have lots of compromises because of it, but you might have just nailed this draft.
I think I've cracked the code. I think I've
Oh,
cracked the
nice
code.
one.
I think I've got a freemium team here, mate. So I'm looking forward to chatting about it.
Yeah, okay, nice. Well, let's see, because I'm sure I want to talk about these differentials as well. But look, we'll get to them in a minute. Let's go through. In goal, you have gone with a 4.5 and a 4. It's worth noting Dubravka could start game week 1 for Burnley,
Yep.
and if he does, he's going to be in everyone's team. From the 4.5 million guys, Kelleher's been popular. You can have Jose Sarr of Wolves, any of the newly promoted, but
Yeah.
Petrovic of Bournemouth. I mean, if Bournemouth buy a centre back or two, they'll be all right, won't they?
Yeah, I'm like flipping between Petrovic and Kelleher at the moment. Literally each draft, I'm just putting somebody else in there. So let's wait and see which way I go. But for now, I've gone Petrovic and hope that I don't have to pick him against Liverpool, that I can pick Dubravka instead.
Yes.
I'm not saying it's a great fixture against Aston Villa, but it might give me a bit more hope of points in that game week.
Yeah, nice. And look, you're not spending much money. That is the dream scenario. If you can spend 8.5 and be happy with your keepers, you've won out. And you can still have an early bench boost if Dubravka becomes a starter game week 1. That would be amazing. Don't know what that says about Burnley's intentions to survive when you're getting rid of Trafford and replacing him with Dubravka, but let's see. All right, let's move on to defenders. Before we do, love you to hit the like button today. We would love, it really helps the algorithm. If you like, if you subscribe, if you drop a comment, those 3 things really help us out. So please do consider doing those if you're enjoying the video. Defenders, Virgil van Dijk has been the community darling. He's the only 6 million defender that gets some DEFCON points, really. He's always got goal threat. But are Liverpool going to keep clean sheets early? And is he worth the money, Dean? Because I'm still on the fence. I'm not sure about Virgil, but I'm seeing him in a lot of teams.
I'm pretty convinced that Virgil's still going to be a good pick. I'm pretty convinced that Liverpool get up to a winning start and manage to keep a clean sheet, certainly on the first day. So I just want to start strong. I don't typically pick like top price defensive assets, but Virgil has been in all of my drafts so far. And now I'm finding it hard to get away from him. Yeah. I've got value players around him, so which allows me to accommodate him. And the fact that I've got 2 cheap goalkeepers in there at the moment obviously helps me as well. Just have that one premium asset in defense. And Virgil, yeah, I'm comfortable with. Like, in terms of Liverpool picks, I'm finding it hard at the moment to know who else I pick alongside Salah. So I'm just basically picking their second best player, Virgil van Dijk.
Mate, most Salah and Haaland drafts can't have a 6 million defender. You can, but then what you've done is you've gone, see you later, 5.5 million, see you later, 5 million. I'm now going to go to 4.5. And actually, there's some great 4.5 options this season. There's good rotation between them as well. Konza, Dorgu, Van der Ven, and Esteve, like that. The rotation patterns are quite good there. There's other 4.5s I like Senesi, Agbadu, but Dorgu could be the pick. Van der Ven with Palina's addition is going to be great for clean sheets. So, yeah, you're in good shape there at the back. But the midfield's where it gets spicy because this is a differential midfield. I don't think we need to discuss Salah. You don't have Ollie Watkins, so Rodgers is the next best thing, and I think covering Villa attack is smart. But talk to me about the others. Pedro Neto and Wilson in particular are very differential. Pedro Neto had an outstanding Club World Cup. He was arguably Chelsea's best player throughout the tournament. So a fun 7 million punt, right?
Yeah, and if I'm not going to have Cole Palmer, which I can't, then I need somebody else. And I think Neto's the next best thing.
Yeah.
He might even be in better form than Cole Palmer as the season begins, judging by the directness we saw, judging by the way that Chelsea play on the turn, the way they play in transition, the pace that he shows and the directness he shows with the ball should lead to Chelsea having some joy through him in those early weeks of the season. So I think Neto, for this moment in time, looks a strong pick from a Chelsea perspective. Declan Rice, I'm sticking by. We'll see whether I can get through the next couple of weeks and he's still there for game week 1. But this new defensive contributions thing helps me become convinced that he's worth having because obviously I think he's going to get let off the leash more now, which means he's going to score more goals. He's going to be involved in more goals. He's going to be on corners. He's going to be on free kicks. So I think that generally Declan Rice's game grows, but he'll still rattle people. He'll still break things up. That's not going to go from his game. So I think that Rice at 6.5 does hold really good value, and Arsenal are going to remain as one of the best teams in the league.
Those 2 free kicks he scored in the Champions League against Real Madrid, like they're living long in the memory as to where Declan Rice can go. And his set piece delivery from corners, he takes them on one side, Saka on the other. But the set piece threat is real. And as you say, there's now goals added to his game. He's going to be a proper box to box 8, isn't he? So he might lose out in defensive contributions, but we will get attacking returns. I like that pick. I think a lot expected him to be cheaper, which is why he's not in many teams. They're reluctant to spend 6.5 when you can get. There's quite good attacking 6.5.
He's £100 million footballer, 6.5 million in this game. Great deal.
Wilson, talk to me. You're a Fulham fan. Is he first choice? I guess he is, but
I mean, he typically
gets a lot of early starts.
Like, I don't know. This is the thing. Like, he is an informed player from pre-season. I haven't really used pre-season form in too many of these picks so far. Maybe Patrick Dorgu, I have. But Harry Wilson is cropping up with goals in pre-season. He's playing well. There was that spell last season where he was essential to Fulham and kept scoring goals, important goals. And so at the moment, I'm convinced that he starts. Fulham might sign players between now and the start of the season, which might influence this changing.
Yeah.
And also we might see other transfers within the Premier League at 5.5 that hold better value. But bear in mind, I am considering a bench boost for game week 1. Yeah. So if that's the case, I'm kind of happy to have Wilson because I think that even if, I think Brighton, even if he didn't start, if he came off the bench, I still think he'd be a good option. So I'm happy with Harry Wilson at the moment as my 5th midfielder. Yeah.
The problem with bench boost game week 1 with this team, and I think you're right, I think they're all starters other than Mark Guiu. I just wonder if Sunderland can chuck him straight in. I think he's going to have to earn his place, and I think he'll be first choice after a few weeks. But with not much time with the squad and lack of pre-season, are you happy if you just get 20 minutes from him? He could pop up with a goal. He could be a one-pointer. But the good thing is with Mark Guiu is you then have a 4.5 forward who can be a dead spot on your bench, which is a great use of funds.
Yeah, I think a debut goal's on the cards. I think even off the bench. Even off the bench. Comes on, scores.
He's quality.
Like, he's a good player, and he just needs his platform. A bit confusing at the moment because we still got him sat here in a Chelsea shirt, and it looks like he's playing at home to Crystal Palace and definitely wouldn't be playing for Chelsea, but that's not going to be the case.
Better fixture for Sunderland. It's a winnable game, that home to West Ham.
It's a winnable game and a good start for him. And as I say, even if he was getting time off the bench, I think at 4.5, that is a risk I'm willing to take, especially if it's just on a bench boost. I don't care. I don't really care about bench boost. I've never done well with it historically in this game. And so that first one is out for me straight away. I'm going to try and get off to a running start. These two other assets up front, mate, are going to define my season because I've got Virgil and Salah from Liverpool. And now I've also got Haaland in, and I've got Gyökeres in. Gyökeres is the new Harry Kane in this game, mate.
Mate, that is amazing. To have Gyökeres and Haaland, that double up is quite something. Fair play, because you've got Salah as well. Like,
I've seen no Salah, no Haaland drafts, and no Gyökeres. Like, yet you can get all three. Why are you not getting all three? Like, these three guys are taking penalties for the best 3 teams in the league.
Is Gyökeres going to start game week 1? Because I'm not sure he does. He'll start game week 2, and that's Leeds. You could captain him versus Leeds. That would be massive.
Yeah. That's a call for next week. But for now...
The beauty of it is
he's one of the fittest players by the look of him that I've ever seen. Like,
shredded, isn't he?
Absolutely shredded. He's a beast. And he's just made one of the biggest transfers of the summer.
Yeah.
He's playing against Man United. If Arsenal turn up to Old Trafford with Gyökeres on the bench, then they're a bit silly in my eyes. Because Man United are not going to want to play against him. Even if he's on the bench, mate, are you counting on him not coming on and scoring a goal? Because I wouldn't think that would be the case. But look, Gyökeres, I think he's going to have a very good start to life in the Premier League. And I think that a draft that can get in 2 Arsenal regular starters, as well as Salah, as well as Haaland, and you've got the Liverpool's best defender, plus around them, Rodgers and Neto. I don't know, mate. It's just a sneaky confidence about me at the moment.
I like it. I do like it. I just wonder, though, like, You may have cracked it, and it's good structure. It works for you. How many of these players do you think you could safely say? Because we're all going to tinker so much over the next week. How many do you think are locked? Can we just go? Can you just give me names of locked? I'm expecting you to give me like 5 to 7 names. Like who is not leaving this team? Fact.
Fact not leaving this team, as long as there's no injuries, are Konza, Virgil, Van de Ven, Salah, Rogers, Haaland, Gyökeres.
7. That's a good place, mate. If you're 7 locked players with over a week to go, and everyone watching, let us know in the comments how many locked players you've got. I reckon I'm around 6, 7. I think you're in a good place. What you don't want to be doing is going into the final week with 3 locked names and so much up for grabs. Like, that's messy in your head. Start locking some players in, some big players with big price points. That then dominates and determines your structure. Dean, I've loved that. Look, we'll be back for Dean's final locked team selection video at the end of next week. Do not miss that one because Dean will be locking in his team at the end of next week, and that will be a pre-recorded video on this channel. Hit those buttons on the way out, drop a comment, show us some love, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.